Kenneth, tell us a little bit about the tree, your tree business. How in the world you got into it and exactly what you offer?
But Dan, the tree business was kind of an accident. We were doing fish and cattle and a few other things out here in the country, and Mr. Cy Morris from Houston, who was part of the architectural firm that built the Astrodome, was looking for a partner to grow trees out in the country, and he felt like he wanted someone that was an old farmer and kind of knew everything about it, and of course we thought we did, but we soon found out when we started thinking about planting these trees and got serious about it that we needed a little help. So we got Dr. Buford Hancock, who started Horticulture Division at Texas A&M University, to be our chief advisor. We also picked up another advisor that was growing some trees before, Mr. Jim Hart from Sealy, Texas. So this is basically how we got into the tree business, by going into a joint venture with Mr. Cy Morris from Houston, Texas. And we have really enjoyed growing the trees. It's kind of a family operation like the rest of our operation is. And my biggest problem with growing the trees is my wife seems to have a green thumb, and she just wants to stay out there all the time. And you know, it's hard to keep these 200 some odd pounds on me if she's out there doing trees. I don't cook near as good as she does.
Now, are we looking at hybrid live oaks here, Kenneth?
Dan, no, there is no such thing as a hybrid live oak. You know, I always thought there was hybrid live oaks too, but there is no such thing as a hybrid live oak. Dr. Hancock quickly informed me. There's 160-something different varieties of what they call Quintus virginiana, which is a live oak tree, and these trees are all native to Texas. The hybrid appearance that our trees have is simply live oak trees will grow very quickly, very beautiful, and you can shape them as you wish. You can get the old pastures, so to speak, look by letting them bend or deform themselves, or either you can get the pretty architectural look for shopping centers or malls or what have you by simply taking a pair of pruners and pruning the trees up as needed and as many times as needed. You can prune trees all year long. You just don't have to prune them in the fall or in the spring. We prune trees July, August. It really doesn't matter. You shape the tree, make the tree how you want it to look.
Is that what makes one tree worth more than another?
Partly, that is what makes some trees worth more than others, but primarily the market on trees now, as one market trees, is by caliber and height. Caliber is how many inches across the diameter, approximately 6 inches up from the ground. So a 3-inch caliber tree we will sell over here on the farm for around $125, where because we have 18,000 trees, where a lot of times if you go somewhere else you may be looking at $250, $300 for the same type of tree. By the way, our 3-inch trees, a lot of them are 14 foot tall or so, and this has all happened in a little over 4 years. Our trees were only 8 to 10 inches tall when we planted them. We planted them from gallon pots, but here again, Dr. Buford Hancock, who started the Horticulture Division at Texas A&M University, gave us the proper fertilization program that is needed to grow trees. We fertilize our trees every 2 months, and this makes all the difference in the world as far as the growth of trees. We also have our trees, all 18,000, on a drip irrigation system. We can water our trees whenever we feel they need water, and this is all controlled automatically. Dan, we primarily have the live oak trees. Although we do have some water oak, we have some Shamarty or red oak, and we have a few native Texas bare oak, because we feel that when one comes to us and with a development or a shopping center or something, they may want some other trees too, but primarily, yes, we have gone into the live oaks because this is a heritage tree. This is a traditional tree in Texas. This is a tree that lives for hundreds and hundreds of years and just gets prettier every year as it grows. Well, we go out probably and inspect our trees almost every day. We like to see what's going on, and here again, how they say that if the person uses plant or vegetation as tender loving care, they seem to know it and respond and grow better. I think it's because of the care that you give them is the tender loving care. As if they needed fertilization more often, you would give it more often. If they would need a little spraying because of some type of insect, you would provide it for them. If they need a little pruning, you would prune. If they need the extra water or less water, you would go ahead and adjust your drip system. And I think this is part of the tender loving care that the humans provide to the trees, not just Mother Nature. And as anything that grows or lives, the better care that it has, the better product you'll notice. As you'll notice, our trees, how many are straight and pretty because of the pruning that we have done. We have topped some of them. We have got the lollipop top, so to speak, yet we have gotten our height that we want. And if you'll notice, a lot of our trees, or most of our trees, are pruned up at 4.5 to 5.5 foot from the ground. So if one plants it in the yard, you don't knock your cap off or don't bump your head when you're mowing. So these are the type of things that people are looking for. They not only want a pretty tree, but they want a convenient tree, and we try to provide them with everything. Well, we will sell to anyone. We like to say we have 1 to 18,000 trees. This is kind of a advertisement that we use because we want to tell you, if you want one tree, we will sell you one tree. If you wanted all 18,000 trees, we will sell you all 18,000 trees. We have sold some trees to Friendswood. We have sold trees to brokers in Dallas, Fort Worth. We have just anywhere, Houston, Corpus, Victoria, other places. We have sold for in architectural design developments. We have sold to any individuals, and we let them come out here, and so to speak, we did not open our fields to this past fall. And I don't know how else you would explain it, but we have like virgin fields of trees that have never really been picked through, but for the first time this past fall, some of the trees have been picked through. And that we're just getting started. Yes, we hadn't sold great numbers, thousands and thousands of trees, but we have sold thousands of trees or so, and people have come out here and picked out their trees. We let them do this. We work with the people any kind of way. When we have a lot of individuals that want the traditional type looking tree that would have multi-branches, we don't have great numbers of them because most of the trees do go to developments in that, and they want the straight trunk, the pruned up trunk, the 4.5 to 5 foot high. Transporting the trees, well, I guess we would start with digging. We have a tree spade that we go dig with. We can dig any size tree that anyone may want. The ratio of digging a tree is, the normal rule of thumb is 1 to 10 inches. For each inch caliber or diameter of the tree, you will use 10 inches of ball. So we will dig, if we have a 3-inch tree, we will put it in a 30-inch ball. This, what we'll do then, we'll put the tree in a basket and burlap, and we will secure it down, tighten it with rope, and we also have a tightener that you'll tighten the actual basket with by crimping and make them very tight, a very neat package. You can take these trees anywhere you want to then, and your roots stay very intact. They're ready to plant, and they will start growing immediately. You don't have to take them out of the basket or out of the burlap. The roots will just simply shoot through the burlap, and they will be gone. And another thing, before we did plant trees, or actually plant our trees, we checked our soil. Dr. Hancock had us check our soil that we had sufficient amounts of clay in it. We checked the pHs of it. We checked for fertilization that we need. We did all these tests up at A&M University, and in other words, that we had a proper soil that we could do a 4, 5, 6 inch tree and hold a ball that would not fall apart, that when people would get our tree, the ball would be there and they would immediately start growing, and they would have a beautiful tree within a year's time, and you see a lot of fresh growth on it. We have around 30 acres in trees already. We have a supply of trees we feel for several years for our people. We have, as we have dug trees out already, we have replanted trees in the spots we have dug out, a lot of the spots. About 80% of our trees were coming out of California and Florida. Why should us Texans be bringing trees in from California and Florida when we got the facilities to grow them here? If y'all will notice here, you notice the straightness of this tree is pruned up 4.5 to 5 foot, and then how it lollipops out. The architect and the design people want a spread. They not only want the caliber, they want the spread. They also want the height, especially on 2-story houses and that in your cities where they're going, or in the country where they go up with the 2-story. They want height, not a spread also. So this is why we let some of them have the height without topping them. Some of them we top them because some of are single-story buildings and they want more spread. This is why we do top them. You notice where Amy is standing there with the pole, the height. You will see these trees are only 4 years old, and they are 13, 14, 15 foot tall, some of them. Yes, and some of them are 10 and 11 foot tall. So this gives you the difference. Notice down the rows the uniformity of these trees. So people can come out here and get as many trees as they want, and they will be uniform.
How in the world did you get into the fish business?
Well, Dan, of course, the fish business is different. This was our first specialty business I guess we had gone into. Back approximately 10 years ago, I was working in town running the in vitro diagnostic laboratory. We manufactured in vitro diagnostics for blood testing and urine testing, and we were shipping all over the world. Yet we had a lot of government control, and we had a lot of competition, like Dow Chemical, Pfizer, High Sale, and we were small. And so I felt maybe it was a good time to sell out while we was in good shape, shipping everywhere, and go into something different. So we sold the company. It was a stock company. We all agreed we were going to sell it. And we were supplying fresh water to the oil fields, our family, at the same time, and we had some extra water. And I decided, after talking it over with the family, if we could grow the humpback blue catfish, that we would grow the humpback blue catfish and go into the fish business. So this is how we got into the fish business. We had the extra water. I got some large blue cats from a cousin I had. And we went ahead and the first year spawned some fish out and raised the humpback blue catfish. We were successful in raising them and moving them, and then we kept expanding into the fish business. We went ahead and we added channel cat, we added hybrid perch, we added all type of forage perch, the copper-nosed bluegill from Florida, we added the regular bluegill, we added the goggle eye, the sunfish, the red ear, the golden shiner minnow, the fathead minnow, tilapia, shad, Florida bass, regular native bass, hybrid bass cross, a Florida black bass cross, hybrid striper, the striper white cross. We are trying to have a full line of fish now that if anyone needs any particular type of fish for his small pond, quarter acre, 2 acres, 5 acres, or 100 acres, we can accommodate anybody on any type of size pond. And so this is how we got into the fish business. We have expanded into the fish business in this direction. We do have 80 acres underwater now, and we're using all 80 acres for growing fish. We are growing some fish out for food fish. It's just, we've tried to expand in every different direction that we could to satisfy and to serve our customers. We have genetically improved our humpback blue cat. We have 4th generation blue cat now that we know will fillet out 50% when they hit 2.5 pounds. A fingerling blue cat from a 4-inch fingerling in a year's time can weigh 2.5 pounds without any trouble. This is what we call normal. This is on food with floating catfish food, of course. And the conversion ratio on food to a pound of live weight gain is approximately 1.25 pounds during the warm weather season. In the cool weather season, it will be 1.75 pounds to 1 pound of live weight gain. So you're looking at today's prices on fish food about 24 to 27 cents a pound to put 1 pound of live weight on a catfish, the humpback blue catfish. And you can, if you like to eat fish, in other words, you can have filleted fish from 48 to 53 cents a pound, plus the fun of catching him and having a good time. The Auburn University channel cat, most just native channel cats will fillet out only around 38% or so. The Auburn University channel cat will fillet out approximately 45%. I do like the blue cat, the humpback blue cat, a lot better than the channel cat, simply for several different reasons. The first year, the blue cat and the channel cat will grow approximately the same amount. Sometimes the channel will outgrow the blue. Once in a while, the blue will outgrow the channel. But after the second year, the blue cat will completely pull away from the channel cat. The blue cat never develops the yellow fat in the body or the fishy taste, where the channel cat, after he hits approximately 2 pounds or so, will develop the yellow fat in the body and have the fishy taste. And the blue cat is always a better game fish on the end of the line, and a lot of people certainly like that point. But a lot of people eat fish, and of course, with your doctors, your government now pushing fish to eat fish because of the high cholesterol and your blood pressures and things, they're kind of advertising for one to grow out fish. And here again, we're talking about food fish. Texas is importing probably about 80% of all their catfish that is consumed in Texas from out of state, from Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. Here again, we have water, we have a lot of land, and it's profitable to grow out fish. This is one of the most profitable ends of the fish business, is the actual growing out of the fish. The National Aquaculture magazine, as of last year, had a survey, the government survey in Georgia and South Carolina, where the people grew out fish, and at 65 cents a pound live weight, we're clearing over $700 net per acre. And here in Texas, you can get more than 65 cents a pound for live weight. So you can make more money here in Texas growing out fish. We spawn all our own fish. Dan, on the catfish, we hatch all our catfish indoors. What we do here, we special feed our broodstock all year in special ponds. In other words, we give them the nutrition they need for building the eggs that is necessary, that they will lay the eggs in the spring. They only will lay eggs, let me back up here, they will only lay eggs once a year, and that is in the springtime when your water temperatures rise up to somewhere around 75 degrees. So you have to be ready for your fish to spawn. We pair our fish, we move our fish, sometimes we hormone inject them so that they will lay eggs for us. We let the female lay the eggs, the male fertilize them, and of course the male will protect the eggs. He also must fan the eggs with his tail to keep them oxygenated. What we do then, after the eggs become, the female lays the eggs and the male has fertilized them and they become hardened, we will go rob the eggs away from the male fish. And sometimes the male fish don't like you to go ahead and rob the eggs from him. He will go ahead and fight, he will bite you, and sometimes you will come out bleeding, trying to get the eggs away from him. But we do take the eggs away. We bring them, as you see, in here to our hatchery. We put them in what we call hardware cloth baskets, and as you've noticed, we've got the metal fans that acts like the fish's tail, and we provide the oxygen to the eggs, and of course we're running fresh water through there all times to keep the eggs clean and more oxygen. It takes 5 to 10 days for these eggs to hatch. And as you've noticed, we have our little feeders up there. After our fingerling fry get over 48 hours old, we feed them every 2 hours, night and day. They will come, they carry an egg sac on them for 48 hours. As soon as that egg sac dissolves into their body and nourishes their body and helps them grow, they will start coming to the top to eat the floating food that these feeders feed them night and day. So here again, when you get fingerling catfish from us, they are ready to eat. We feed our fingerling catfish off of four-wheelers, and you can drive up on tank dam, and here they will come when they hear the noise of the four-wheelers, as you can see here in this pond. See when we're up here with that four-wheeler, how they're coming? We haven't thrown any food out here yet. You can see the fingerlings coming here. So they will get used to whatever you feed them with. We have fish, blue cats, up to about 65 pounds. These are some pretty good sized ones, and you'll notice as we're feeding here that the size of the whiskers, they hadn't shaved in quite a while, and the size of the jaw, and you can see the size of the heads and that. And of course, the blue cats, what we've done genetically improved, we have gotten the head size down on the catfish. The catfish is a lot longer, and the body is much thicker, and so this is why we are able to get a 50% fillet out of our humpback blue catfish. We have genetically improved for over the last about 8 or 9 years now. Well, we are selling fish all over Texas, and here again, the market for our fish is for fingerling fish. So many folks around now have built their own stock ponds, and a lot of the city folks have come out and bought small acreages and built tanks up on their small farms and that, and love to come out to the city on the weekends and during the summer vacations and that, and they love nature. They like to fish, and folks that live in the country love to fish. They don't have that maybe full day or 2 days to go to the coast or to the river fishing, and you have limits when you go to the coast or to the river fishing, and it gets expensive sometimes. This way they can go into their pond, whether it's a 1/4 acre or 10 acres or what have you, or 2 acres or 1 acre, and put fish in there, and if they want to go fishing, then their kids, they can take their kids and go fishing. And of course, it sounds like a sales pitch, and it may be, but to me, anytime you can take your kids and teach them to fish or to hunt or anything like this, this is one of the best insurance policies you can for growing up young children. It gives them something to occupy their free time with and something that they love doing. And it's nature providing some fun for people. And you can do it as a family. This is the other nice thing about it. And it's just good times. And so that's why I'm saying fishing or hunting. Like we also have, as y'all see out here, we have wild game feeders for the fish. You can feed your fish with this if you're not there to feed them all the time. Or you can feed your fish during the warm weather season and use these for deer feeders during the hunting season, or turkey. The feeders, as you notice, they're solar powered. They're digital, like a digital alarm clock, and they're computerized. And we have a 3-year warranty on them, so they work. So if you're not living there and trying to feed your fish, when you come back the next weekend or the next month, they're working. If you hunt in West Texas or in the hill country, and you go out there, you don't have to hassle with making your feeder work if you got it for your deer feeder out there. It is working. And that's what's so nice about digital and solar power and computerized and the 3-year warranty. It does work. Y'all can see here, we have our holding cross up here at the fish shop. These are for people that want to drop in and pick up fish. We have them up. We have them ready to go. We can ship fish to any place, to anybody. We have plastic bags. We put oxygen in and fish. We can send catfish in plastic bags under oxygen. So if anyone wants to drop in any time, we're normally here. We suggest people call before they come. But yes, we have the fish up most of the time. Sometimes you will catch us maybe with something not up because we don't hold our fish up real long. We try to sell down to a low number and then reseine up so we have the most healthiest possible fish that we can give people. And we're here Saturdays and Sundays too, especially if you call on a Sunday. We will have someone meet you here if someone needs fish. But here again, it's just like any other business. You've got to tend to it, and we love to meet people and to help them and try to advise them. And we can help them with a quarter-acre tank to large lakes or whatever they have. And we have fish for any type or size pond or lake.
This has been a special presentation of Channel 16. The Lavaca Live Oak Farm and the Henneke Hatchery is located outside Hallettsville in Lavaca County. This has been a special program over Channel 16 as we proudly serve the viewing areas of Schulenburg, Hallettsville, LaGrange, and Weimar.